broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round. You can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. Yeah, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up, high like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. And the silence isn't quiet. It feels like it's getting hard to breathe. I know you feel like dying. I promise you we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, take the world to its feet and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is a hope. And for that we have each other. And for that we have each other. We will rise, we will rise, oh, we will rise.
Hello everyone. On behalf of EcoYouth, I would like to welcome you all today. My name is Prakriti Makwana. I'm a second year student studying Bachelor's of Data Science at SPJ School of Global Management. I am the PR and Marketing Director of the EcoYouth Club, which aims to spread awareness regarding world issues that affect us and how we as students can make an impact. It is dedicated to achieving sustainable goals, making a difference in our environment. It gives us immense pleasure to welcome you to the first of our series of talks dedicated to highlighting different causes and personalities linked to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The SDGs call to end poverty, protect the planet, and bring peace and prosperity to all. Today, Path for Hope is dedicated to SDG Goal 10, reducing inequalities. This goal aims at reducing inequality within and among countries. It calls for reducing disparities in income as well as those based on age, sex, disability, race, ethnicity, origin, religion, or any other status within a country. COVID-19 has deepened existing discrepancies, hitting the poorest and most vulnerable communities the hardest. It has put a spotlight on economic imbalance and fragile social safety nets that leave those communities to bear the brunt of the crisis. At the same time, social, political, and economic inequalities have amplified the impacts of the pandemic. To dig deeper into this conversation, I would like to invite our EcoYouth Club President, Bhavesh Advani, and our guest for today's talk, Ms. Rita Thakur Pursani, who is the CEO of Yayasan Peduli Tuna Daksa, also known as the Limb for Limbless NGO based in Indonesia.
Welcome, Auntie Rita. It is a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Welcome, welcome everyone. Greetings from Indonesia. My name is Bhavesh Advani, and I am a final year BBA student at SPJ School of Global Management. I am also the president of the EcoYouth Club, initiated in 2019. It is my pleasure to host this conversation, and a bigger pleasure to have everyone meet Miss Rita Thakur to enlighten us more on the NGO and their noble work. Over to you, Miss Rita.
Thank you, Bhavesh. Good evening, friends. Let me begin this evening with Dada's quote. If you want to be happy, make others happy. Today, we have all joined together to celebrate the lives of thousands of people that have been made happier, for they have been gifted with a new mobility and a new life. Friends, day after day, the Limb for the Limbless initiative brings hope, brings happiness to a person's life. Let us move on to witness one such true life story.
Hope, about compassion, about finding a purpose in life. This is a story about a person called Heruddin and how he found a guiding light. Limb for the Limbless presents this true story. Life for Heruddin was a constant battle and a desperate struggle for survival. Heruddin had lost his limbs in 1995 in a terrible motorcycle accident which changed his life forever. Heruddin felt deeply rejected. Not only was he shunned in developing a career, he was put down even by his own family. Heruddin was not a person to give up easily, so he again found the courage to go and inquire for a job. Heruddin now decided that the only option he had was to commit suicide. And so, that evening, Heruddin, my child, there is hope for you. Have faith in Allah. Turn to Him and He shall free you from all obstacles. With no food, no shelter, and no chance of getting a job, Heruddin was left to beg on the streets of Indonesia. Every dark cloud has a silver lining, and this newspaper article turned out to be the ray of hope Heruddin was searching long for. And then, on a sunny morning, the dark clouds parted. The impossible was made possible. Heruddin's days of despair had finally ended. Heruddin was a new man. His prayers were answered. Limb for the Limbless Centre bestowed on Heruddin the new life that he desperately needed.
I'm sure this video has moved so many hearts. Before we move on to the Q&A, I would like to thank all the organizers of this evening's meeting. A big thank you to SP Jain Management School, Ms. Meghna Kalwani, Deputy Director of Global Learning, EcoYouth, The Casing Paradise, and Saveri Filkana. Thank you so much for organizing this afternoon's wonderful online meeting, A Path for Hope, and for the beautiful recognition granted to the Limb for the Limbless initiative. Thank you, much appreciated.
Thank you, Ms. Rita, for that wonderful and eye-opening video. So now we move on to the question and answers. Our team has been very excited to meet you and have sent us some questions they would like to ask you. The first question from our team is, what was the motivation behind this NGO? It would be great if you could briefly explain how the Limb for Limbless Centre came about, and at what moment in your life did you decide this is what you want to do?
Friends, the heart and the spirit of this organization is our mentor, our guru, Dada Vaswani, whose philosophy was doing good deeds and helping those in need. This organization started out as a one-off Limb for the Limbless Center, Limb for the Limbless camp in February 2007 to commemorate Thanksgiving week for the new life bestowed on Dada Vaswani after a very complicated and a life-threatening health issues has turned into a permanent center committed to helping countless handicapped to walk again. Now, what made us want to do this is definitely the response of the 2-week scam that we had. You know, the response created energy, an energy that was so overwhelming, so empowering, that it soon reached far and wide. Even the government officials came to us and expressed that this concept is so inspiring because a person comes in on a crutch or wheelchair, and by the evening he is walking tall with dignity. He also shared that the wait list of the patients were long and the need was huge, a need that only a private sector could fulfill. During those 2 weeks camp, my dear friends, we were only able to provide about 300 limbs, whereas there were about 600 people waiting to be blessed with a limb. That was definitely the turning point that inspired us that we should keep going. And of course, from within, there was like a calling that we realized we need to do this because the need was there. And to fulfill the need was something that we can hone our time and resources too. Friends, let me tell you this, that even that any good intentions that you have a voice, and a voice, even if whispered, is loud enough to turn plans into action. We surrendered the outcome, but worked really hard to put everything together. Of course, we had several community members came forward to help us. By God's grace, we have moved where we are today. Yes.
Beautifully said. Auntie, Ms. Rita, can you share some of the key milestones and best memories with the NGO?
Yeah, one of the sweetest memory that comes to my mind is when we organize a walk for hope. And we managed to bring together about thousands of disabled to walk with us from different cities in Indonesia. We were in total about 7,000 people walking on a car-free Sunday morning. Oh, that was such a powerful vision to see these people walking with their artificial limbs alongside us as one, no separation. And then the milestone, some of the milestones were when we received 2 Muri Awards. Now, Muri is the Indonesian version of Guinness Record. So we got the first one was for the largest gathering of disabled walking together. The second one was the highest number of limbs given within the shortest period of time.
Wow. The Walk of Hope is truly a very big um, milestone by the NGOs. I think our team has a short clip to show our audience, showing a few glimpses of the Walk of Hope, if you can get it up. The next question, Ms. Rita, was COVID has changed the way several industries function, making us more resilient, and more agile. I can say that being a student myself. How did COVID affect your operations at the NGO? And how did you and your team work around this?
Yes, initially, the first few months, we were definitely closed for about 2 or 3 months. But after the lockdown was released, we resumed regular operations. But however, our production has dropped to about 60%. Our team continues to move from one city to another, meeting patients, measuring them, and then coming back here and creating the limbs. Of course, safety precautions are being taken, and also we follow all protocols. And by His grace, the work is continuing.
Amazing. Um, I would like to take this opportunity to ask how our viewers can learn more about the Yayasan or the NGO, and what pages would you like them to follow? And how can they donate to help the NGO?
Okay, I think for all this, you need to go to our website. I'm sure somebody is there to post it on the chat. Yeah, and then we also have the panels. Yes, thank you so much. Yes. I would also like to take this opportunity to take you through a virtual tour on how the limbs are actually created. Can we have the video, please?
The Limb for the Limbless Centre, also known as Peduli Tuna Daksa in Bahasa Indonesia, is a non-profit organization dedicated to providing artificial limbs to the disabled free of charge. The birth of this organization was inspired by revered Dada J.P. Vaswani, whose philosophy consists of doing good deeds and helping those in need. Indeed, his God is love. His religion is service and sacrifice. As Dada says, behold the image of God in the poor and suffering ones. Our mission is to embody this spirit in helping millions who have tragically lost their limbs. The Limb for the Limbless Centre is a state-of-the-art facility with advanced equipment that fits artificial limbs of Jaipur foot technology imported directly from India. Situated in Sunter, North Jakarta, the centre is supported by 3 renowned prosthetists and artificial limb specialists from India to ensure smooth application and usage of the limbs. Besides fitting limbless people with artificial limbs, our mission is to ensure that they attain normalcy in their life and gain a new interest in living. Did you see him on the road? Did you leave him with the load? Said our founder, Sadhu Vaswani. As we learn to help others with their loads, we will find that health, happiness and joy flow into our lives. Charity, service, selfless help, call it what you will, is a divine virtue upheld by every religion. Undeniably, helping others is one of the most beautiful compensations to our lives. With the divine blessings and all your support, we hope to assist more limbless Indonesians and serve the community in added ways in the future. Dada J.P. Vaswani often says, life is too short, so let us be quick to love and prompt to serve.
What a beautiful video. The next question is, have you partnered with any corporate organizations that will provide work to these challenged people?
You know, that is an area of growth for us. We have been so tied up in the making, in the giving, and in the quality that we now need to move forward to the next step of providing a more sustained livelihood for them. After all, they are as competent as anyone else, and they deserve the same opportunity. Yes, we are definitely looking at some for a company that could connect our patients to other employers. Although so many of our patients have come back to us saying that they are already working. Yes.
Amazing. We have a very delicate question that we've received. Working with people so closely, I'm curious to understand how Limb for the Limbless Center deals with children to cope with change and give them that emotional and mental support to give them hope.
Yes, with love and compassion as we do with all our patients. But these young ones, as they grow, their limbs grow too. So they have no choice but come back to us to get it refitted. This is our opportunity to meet them, to know what's going on in their lives, and also to see if they are comfortable. Now, more than this, I am hoping that through this channel, we may get some volunteers who would like to share their skills, their knowledge on how to counsel these children. Yes, but these children, they are so they are so innocent and they are so pure that they are able to embrace the new limbs as their second skin. So helping them cope better emotionally and mentally, I think will complete the giving. Yes.
Amazing. If you had a magic wand, what realistic change would you like to see in our ecosystem and our society?
Wow, I really wish I had a magic wand. But if I had, I would just like to spread the sparkles of pure love all around. For when love is pure, there is no room for dishonesty. There is no room for destruction. There is no room for manipulations. Imagine what a dazzling world we would be.
Amazing. We now move on to our question and answers that we received from our audience. Can we have our team showing up what questions we are getting from our audience, please?
I will try my best to reply.
How does the NGO screen potential limb recipients to ensure that they are unable to cover the cost of a limb?
I think, we have a standard assessment that covers the details of the family and the work background, the details of the entire member of the family. So the assessment and the final decision is definitely a combination of a subjective and factual efforts. Yes.
Amazing. The next question is, can we have the next question on the screen, please? What is your motto in life?
Oh. I believe and try my best to follow what dear Dada taught me. And he always says that in life, in order to live a very fulfilling life, we must do our duties. We must do our duty earnestly, honestly, and very sincerely, and also play our roles, our respective roles, in the best way we can. I think this is the first step to experiencing divinity through each day. And I also feel that living the right way nurtures our being and helps us to march to the highest portals of perfection. And actually, believe me, this is definitely my goal. This is my long term goal or short term goal, whatever you call it. But definitely, that's my goal, to be perfect. Yes.
And the next question that we received is, has there been a point when you felt discouraged in this line of work given the challenges? If yes, how did you manage them?
Feeling discouraged, I don't think, because we believe that life offers a very fresh canvas each day. So it is finally up to us to paint a beautiful picture with radiant colors of love and kindness. Now, coming to the next one is about challenges. Yes, we do face minor challenges from time to time. But I guess those are the things in life that help us to grow, to learn, and to come out of our um, comfort zone. You see, our problems are minor and we are entirely able to handle them all for the sake of those whose problems, whose issues are so much more considerable than ours. And our motto goes, losing a limb was not their choice, but helping them gain one is definitely ours. So, what we do when we face problems is that we take this motto at the forefront of the problem. And believe me, we really realize that our problems are nothing. They're just like, we have staff problems from time to time, and then we have technicians problem, and mostly we have the demands are more than the supply. And during that time, we have to come out of our comfort zone and take aligned actions, ask people to donate to expedite the giving.
Okay. Next question comes from Delzan Tutari in Bangalore. Could I know what the NGO's main source of funding is?
Our initial funding definitely came from the members of the Sadhu Vaswani organization, Mr. Chandru Budrani being one of the main one, and he is our president of the Sadhu Vaswani organization, Jakarta. And then after that, we do get from NGOs like Sequis Life Insurance Company. They have really been the biggest support of the limb for the limbless. And then we also get through CSR. Yes, corporate social responsibility. Yes.
We have one final question from the audience, Auntie Rita and Mr. Rita.
Yes. I will try.
Do you have the Limb for Limbless Center in India? If yes, who can they contact?
Yes, in India we do have, and I will ask my team to have it typed in the box. Yes, it's Naresh Singhani. Can you please write? Yes. You can contact our marketing there, and he will give you everything, the details of how they do. They also provide limbs.
Beautiful. As we conclude our talk, what would you like to advise our viewers to do to be more effective, global, and socially responsible citizens?
Oh, wow. There are three types of people: those who make things happen, those who watch things happen, and those who wonder what happened. My very dear friends, to all of you, my advice to each and every one of you, and of course to myself too, is to grab every chance you get to help others in as many ways as you can, and to belong to the first category of the people, those that make things happen. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for this
Thank you.
wonderful opportunity to share about Limb for the Limbless. And also, believe me, Bhavesh, you have revived, or you have helped me to revisit the wonderful memories that we had in the making of this organization. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Rita, for joining us today. It was a great pleasure having you amongst us, and we thank you to our wonderful audience for tuning in. We hope you stay tuned for the next session. Do follow us on SPJ Global and subscribe to our channels to keep updated. Thank you.
Thank you, Dada Sham.
Yeah.